leaked out the information, and so the League of Villains to the League of Villains, and they already moved. They moved to a different place. And so after this, Midoriya goes on to go to school, but feeling less emotions. And so it's getting harder and harder for him to get angry. It's not peace, it's just not feeling it all. Because that was the one person in the world that he just adored, was his mother. And so nobody adopts him. It's just gonna be straight like that. But he does meet All Might. He happens to meet All Might. And he tells All Might everything he knows. And All Might says, "I'll train you, young Midoriya." And so Midoriya also gets like a job, a part-time job. And so for now, he's just gonna be like working at some random food restaurant. It doesn't really matter what for now, because it's not like he's ever gonna like have anything happen at the restaurant. And so yeah, and so All Might, he starts training Izuku Midoriya, Deku in other words. And Deku gets a little bit of emotion from this, of just happiness, but it's quickly overrun by thinking, man, if only Mom were still here. If only I would have saved her. And All Might says, "I know what you're thinking, young Midoriya. And even the best of heroes can't save everyone at times." And Deku asks, "How did you know what I was thinking?" He goes, and All Might says, "Because I too have lost someone of great importance to me. And it was because I could not save them." And so in this What If, I'm giving Deku and All Might sort of like a dad-son relationship, even though Izuku is not All Might's son, is not adopted by All Might, or has not been adopted by All Might. And so throughout this entire thing, Deku grows to trust All Might, and All Might grows to trust Deku. And so he shows him the debuffed form. And since Midori has been spending a lot of time with him, he doesn't really believe that it's not All Might, but he says, "Okay, well, if that's another one of your forms, Toshinori," because he knows All Might's name, he says, "What's one thing only All Might would know about me?" And he said that you wished you could have been fast enough to get them. And Deku says, "You're right, All Might. I really wish I could have been." And so there's a little bit of that. And so Deku's been learning to use his powers, but he hasn't really told anyone at school. And because he doesn't see, Kacchan's his only friend, and Kacchan's grown out of the phase where he's just like, "Dang you, Deku!" And so he's not going to be like super angry at Deku and just yelling for Deku to die, 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 die. And for a different change, since he doesn't like angering Deku, because like Deku just goes into this killer stare when he's even starting to get like annoyed or angry. And so Katsuki Bakugo tries to stay on Deku's good side. And in the end, they're actually friends because of this. Like, they end up still being friends and all that. And so that doesn't change. Then afterwards, when they get older, they all the teacher asks, "What schools are you gonna go to?" I know 2 of you are applying for UA, and Katsuki still says, don't lump me in with a bunch of these losers. Me and Deku are the only ones who are gonna be able to even get in UA. And they all say, I don't know about Deku. He's still weak. Some people don't even think he's developed a quirkless little baby. And that actually makes Bakugo get mad, and Deku just stares at them with that killer stare, and they go, holy, what the was that? And then Katsuki goes, you dare say that? He's even better than all of you. I bet all he'd have to do is lift a single finger, and you'd be all on the ground. And Deku says, actually, I don't even have to do that. And the entire class, except for Bakugo, of course, is just enraged by this. And then Deku follows it up with, you guys wouldn't even be a warm-up. The only one in here worthy of even fighting me would be Kacchan. He is the only one who's even remotely close to me in power. All of you other noobs and novices, you should just go to a different school. See, in this one, Deku's kind of grown a little cold-hearted, and so the only people he actually shares his emotions with are people that mean a lot to him. So Bakugo's been there for him after that one day where Bakugo got beat up. He's had respect for Deku. So they've been together as friends since that day. And so Deku shares his feelings with Kacchan, otherwise known as Katsuki Bakugo. And so Bakugo knows all about Deku's power, because he experienced it firsthand, and he said it was so strong and so ominous that I will never forget the feeling of it. And then Deku says as a joke, oh, well, thanks for making me feel better. And then Kacchan says, I didn't mean it like that, Deku. I just meant it's really unique, and that anyone would be frightened the first time they even sense it. And Deku's like, yeah, I know. Either way, I'll be going home with the shortcut tonight. And then Kacchan is just like, well, why don't I come with you? We are friends after all. And I mean, it's not like you have anyone to take care of. And Deku shuts him up. Deku just shuts him up with this. He goes, please don't say another word, Kacchan. And then Katsuki goes, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I totally forgot. I'm sorry. And he goes, shut up. You forgot? That makes it even worse. Kacchan, just go your way and I'll go mine. And Katsuki's like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll go on my own road, on my own way home. And so then Deku senses the sludge villain